Hey guys, and welcome to my Spider-Man reaction video. You can probably hear in the background the wind in my car. I could turn it off, but I don't want to. It really gives that cinematic adventure that there's something more powerful going on. But I wanted to react a little bit about this Spider-Man movie, this new one called No Way Home. It's going to be a very exciting adventure. So we're going to take off from Spider-Man coming back from this whole, killing Mysterio thing. He's like, oh, I didn't kill Mysterio, guys. It wasn't me. Well, the government's not going to believe you. They were Peter Parker's drones. And so they definitely murdered that guy. And so, with him being a juvenile in high school, he may go to jail for a little bit. But yeah, they're coming out with this thing where he's like terrified of like, oh, everybody knows I'm Spider-Man and I'm going to go to prison for killing this guy. So he doesn't want to go to jail. He wants to avoid personal accountability, and so he's going to go to Doctor Strange, call him Mr. Steven. And he wasn't too thrilled about being called Mr. Steven, but that's kind of what Spider-Man does. A little quirky teenager kid from New York high school, but he's going on this adventure with Doctor Strange. He wants to make everybody forget that he's Spider-Man, so that way he doesn't have to go to prison. And so I'm going to move the camera just a little bit. My phone warned me it's getting too hot, so I'm going to move it right here in the direction of the wind, so it cools down a little bit. So we got Spider-Man getting Doctor Strange's help. He's going to Doctor Strange, which you can clearly see that between the events of the original Doctor Strange, where he wanted to protect the timeline and prevent things from happening to the Time Stone and protect the sacred timeline and so forth. He clearly doesn't care about that anymore. He doesn't want to protect the sacred timeline, I guess because his adventure through time caused the Thanos snap to not happen. So I guess he could help this little kid that he barely knows make the whole world forget that he is Spider-Man. And so he wants to help Spider-Man avoid his personal accountability by going to jail. And he helps Spider-Man, come up with the plan, even though Doctor Strange's cohort, his guy who was interested in being his apprentice and so forth, said, don't do that spell, Doctor Strange. Well, Doctor Strange is his own person and didn't care. I think my phone's cooled down a little bit, so I'm going to move it back over here. And so we have Doctor Strange clearly going against the warnings to mess with the sacred timeline, and then for some reason allows Peter Parker to be there to disrupt the spell. Now, I guess he didn't take into account that this teenager who's trying to avoid personal accountability would also avoid personal accountability when everybody would forget he's Spider-Man, because he's greedy and jealous, and he doesn't want MJ to not know that he's not Spider-Man. Even though he could clearly just tell her again and avoid this whole disruption of the movie. But I guess it's, too difficult for him to say, hey, guess what? I'm Spider-Man. Or go to Ned and say, hey, guess what? I'm Spider-Man. Oh, my phone's getting too hot again, so I'm going to move it back here into the car wind. And so, yeah, we have Spider-Man, getting really upset and disrupting the sacred timeline. And so he gets in the way of Doctor Strange and is like, no, you can't do that. I don't want my friends to not know who I am, but I don't want to go to jail. So he disrupts it and then opens up the world to all the Spider-Mans coming in. So you get the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, who hasn't been confirmed yet, showing up going like, hey, what's up, Peter Parker? I'm Peter Parker. This is what happens when you let Venom take over. And then he does the whole Spider-Man 3 thing. And then the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man shows up and goes, hey, guess what? I'm Spider-Man. This is what happens when you try to tell the same Spider-Man story again a second time only you spend the whole entire first movie doing the origin story, even though we all know Spider-Man's origin, and you fail. So they're like, Peter Parker, don't mess this up. Let everybody know you're Peter Parker. Otherwise, all the bad guys are going to show up. And he's like, no, I don't want to go to jail. And so all the bad guys show up. And it's clearly going to be a wonderful roller coaster adventure. I am very excited to see what's going to happen. We're going to have so many Peter Parkers in there. Doctor Strange is there too. So it's going to be a wild cinematic adventure, because we're going to have all the multiverse and the time shifts. And I'm going to move my phone back over here real quick because it's not hot anymore, but it'll probably get hot again. So yeah, this was a 30-second trailer. I think I've talked about it now for 6 minutes, so don't forget to smash subscribe, tell 10 friends. We now have membership options, so you can tell your 10 friends to subscribe for $1, and they'll be the ultimate subscribe. Now, if you have rich friends, we encourage you to tell them about the super rich subscribe. It's $100 a month. There's really no perks to this other than you get a really cool medallion next to your name. But make sure you smash subscribe, tell 10 friends. Tell me what you think about the Peter Parker No Way Home movie coming to theaters soon. Down in the comment section, I believe it said it was coming in December or Christmas or something like that. But yeah, make sure you comment down below. Hit that like button. Forward this to Reddit. Get so many downvotes. It's going to be great. So thank you again for watching this video. And my phone's getting hot again, so I'm going to move it over here. But yeah, thank you again. I really appreciate the time you spent with me today. And I look forward to my next reaction video to a 30-second trailer. Thank you. Now I'm going to hit the pause button.